Hi, and welcome to the Senior Network. I'm your host, Greg Fulton. Today we are joined by Ashley Macco, physical therapist, PruittHealth Home Health. Good to have you.
Good to be here.
Carrie Babcock, PruittHealth Home Health. Good to see you.
Good to see you again, Greg.
And Nona Story, the Cypress of Hilton Head. Glad
Hi,
to have you.
Greg. Good to see you.
And we're actually coming to you today from PruittHealth Home Health. Thank you for having us. Ashley, tell us a little bit. Physical therapist. What is that about?
Yes. So in the home care setting, our main goal is usually all about home safety at first. We get a lot of patients that have fallen and went into the hospital, and then we're in a rehab facility, and then came home. Right. So our first goal is assessing their home situation. So just removing anything that are fall risk, a lot of throw rugs, cords everywhere, even oxygen lines, stuff, kind of just making ways to avoid those. And then just seeing what else would be a fall risk for them. So whether it's, they have balance issues, weaknesses, a lot of times just very, very poor safety awareness. Sure. So working on those things, getting rid of the obvious things at first that we can fix in one day, and then our repeat visits will be working on that balance and that strength and getting them to be a little bit steadier on their feet and hopefully avoiding more falls. Also, it's not all about falls, but a lot of times just some general deconditioning after they get out of the hospital for whatever reason. Well,
for example, like I'm sure it varies with every patient. How long do you typically go in? Will you be with them for a week, a month?
It all depends. Really? Sometimes we'll get a patient that, we'll assess them. We'll maybe stay in for only 3 weeks. Okay. They recover quick, they're independent, they're out doing their thing, or we'll transition them to an outpatient setting if it's like a new knee or something like that. But then we have some patients that we've been seeing for, they'll be doing great, and then they'll have another fall, and or they'll go back into the hospital. So, we have some patients that were in for several months or so.
They just like to see you.
Yeah. We do get a lot of that too. Yeah.
Companionship. They just want them back,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, Carrie, I know because you talk about this on the show a lot. I know you work with not just your physical therapist, but a lot of other disciplines and so forth too, right?
Mm-hmm. PruittHealth Home Health, we offer skilled nursing, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, home health aide, and a social worker. Right. And all of it is designed to work in the patient's home. Like Ashley mentioned, to assess the home, see what we can do. If a patient goes to outpatient therapy, the therapist is just working with the patient, and all they see is that patient right there. But oftentimes, and Ashley can tell you more about this, when you get inside the home, there's a different story there. That's why the safety assessment is so important.
I got you, because you really don't know what you're getting until you get there, exactly.
Oh, yeah. See some fun things.
Well, Nona, what's going on new with you in the Cypress?
Well, actually, we're just celebrated our 27th anniversary of being open. Yeah. Wow. So it's time to do some renovations in the clubhouse, and we're kind of perking things up a little bit. And we've been working on picking out carpets, and we have a decorator, a designer who has been working with us and choosing all the things to get the clubhouse updated.
Now, this renovation's coming soon?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Hopefully starting the 1st of May.
Oh, great.
So it's a big project. It's a very big project, but...
do you have to close down anything, or everything just stays...
No, we have our little ways, of making sure, because we're open 24 hours.
Right,
our dining room is always available, and the clubhouse is available. So, we have a lot of different ways to enter the clubhouse. Right. So if there's work being done, over here, then
off, yeah,
exactly.
Well, it's a gorgeous place. I know Carrie and I always talk about every time we go over there, and we've gotten to be in the private residence a couple times doing some shows. It's been a lot of fun, hasn't it?
It's got that country club feel.
Yeah, it does.
And that was the intention all along.
Well, and you guys always reinvest into the property too, and that means a lot.
Yeah, exactly. But we have the same thing that you offer. It's just within our community.
Sure.
We have our physical therapist there at the Preston Health Center, and we also have home health that can come into our members' homes, and they do exactly what you were talking about, and it's just great all around what we all offer.
Sure. Now, do you have inpatient rehab there, or is it all in the homes?
Yes.
Okay.
We don't call them patients.
Okay.
They're members, that are there at the Preston Health Center.
Okay.
But we do have a full staff of physical therapists, and so they'll work with you and do the same thing that you were mentioning before person goes home, then they come into the home and kind of make it usable, for that person. And of course, you don't have to be in the Preston to use our therapists. So it all works.
Good.
Yeah.
It made me think, Ashley, when you're in the home physical therapy, I know like you mentioned that you have occupational therapists, social workers, and so forth. When you guys make the visits, is it typically as a team, or you're there by yourself when you go in?
Typically by yourself.
Okay.
We typically try to do the one-on-one, but with our schedule, a lot of times we'll run into another discipline then. If that's the case, then we just work together. We kind of.
What do you see most? Is it you talked about balance a lot? Is it leg, arms, shoulders?
It's mostly. I think a lot of when people get into physical therapy, they think it's a lot of fun sports injuries, that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, it's not too much of that. I mean, we get some new knees and some new hip replacements here and there, but it's mostly a lot of times just people going to the hospital for like a CHF exasperation or COPD or, like I said, fall, and then just them being in the hospital for any amount of time, they just get deconditioned and kind of just general weakness for the most part.
I understand. Carrie, what's new?
Well, not
summertime.
Much, I will give a shout out to our clinical team. Still 5 stars on the quality measure.
Congratulations.
Patient satisfaction still very high. They do a fantastic job of rehabbing patients. And one thing that I noticed when I went out with you is that you'll set little goals for the patients. And you say, when I come back next Tuesday, or whenever it may be, I want you to do your homework. And then you remeasure the patient, right, each time to see if they're making progress? Yeah,
I mean, PT's always very goal-oriented, so you can see that what you're doing is being effective. So we have a lot of different outcome measures that we use, a lot of different balance tests, but then we even use something as simple as just how far can they walk on their own. So, sometimes they'll start only be able to walk from the bed to the bathroom, so maybe 10 feet, and then setting goals of short-term goals, 50 feet or so, until eventually we want them all to be kind of community ambulators and be able to go outside.
Great point. Hold the thought. We need to take a break. Stay with us. We'll be right back on the Senior Network.